Amazing news today. Today is a very strong, important day. You need to watch this. We are going to apologize for the mistake we have made and we upset the community, but we back up with a nice solution that makes everybody happy. You are going to be able to choose how much PAX you share with the people flying to your airport or renting your airplane, and the marketplace user is coming along, so you're going to see how it's gonna look like. Also, there are previews on the airplane rental mission, and something super cute in the map. You can see airplanes in 3D. We are going to tell you all this and also go in the Ask Me Anything section with you very soon. Hello everybody and welcome to SimFly News. This is Roberto, SimFly spokesperson, and in the role of spokesperson I need to bring you all the news, the good and the bad one. And unfortunately in this past week, SimFly, and I take responsibility as one of the founder of SimFly, we effed up, okay? Effed up. And we owe you all an apology, okay? So what we have done, our mistake is that we rolled out in production a new rule without explaining anything to any of you. So you guys found yourself with things that changed without a previous warning, and even worse, without an explanation. Okay, so what we have done, and I give you now an explanation, but I also gonna tell you that we rolled back things and made it even better to ask for your forgiveness. So listen up that I am explaining you what happened, okay? Consider that SimFly is still in the embryonial state, it's still at day zero, so we're still having to figure out how to balance everything in the economy. And this is not a simple thing, it's not even something easy to explain because it's very complex and large, so every action is connected to something else. We need to pay attention because if we give too much or too little, the things break down. What is fantastic, what is amazing about SimFly that I love and is a sort of a miracle is that things like the PAX token and experience point are not generated out of thin air that people collect them like this. You need to work to create one PAX token. So you need to sit there, start flying an airplane, and make a job that not everybody is able to do. That's why you guys are special, because you are the one that have the chance to create the value of this PAX token. And then this PAX token has a practical value because you can purchase things in the SimFly marketplace soon also from other users, or you can sell this PAX to other users. And if was easy to get the PAX token, nobody will buy from you. So it is everything balanced in order to make it work in the economy. Consider, for example, if you have airplanes and you want to rent the airplanes, if there was not the maintenance time when the airplane land, everybody had their own airplane, so why somebody will come and rent yours? And all is made in such a way that there are dynamics for which a user interact with another user. Every user has an opportunity. Look at the beautiful events that we organize. And what is incredible? With one of those events, we even beaten the real, actual airline flying to a destination. There were more SimFly users flying to the destination compared to actual airplane in the real world flying in the destination. And these are the milestone events that we have, and we do this so that we can advantage people that own airport, so people can land in their airport. There are a lot of mechanics, and one of these was balanced by the Sky Sentinel. The Sky Sentinel was something that appears in the monitor of somebody that is flying using SimFly, and if an answer wasn't given in time, the mission was cancelled. And we realized that this was very drastic, cancelling a mission just because somebody go to the toilet for a moment. The real need of the Sky Sentinel was to avoid people to put the system in autopilot, fly for 18 hours, and then start breaking up what is the rules that make SimFly working, because if that was possible, then suddenly PAX token and experience point would lose their value. So because the Sky Sentinel received a lot of criticism by a lot of people, in effect it wasn't working very well, what happened? It happened that we decided to first disable, so whatever your pricing was doesn't really matter, and then remove it completely. Now, this caused issue because some people start complaining and other people start taking advantage of this limitation that was removed by flying in circles and just pretending to stay in the air for no reason, and consequently collecting more packs. And this was verifying the fact that we want PAX token and experience point to be given for a real job that people do, which are mostly taking off and landing. So what we came without, we thought that because we want to protect the shorter normal, which 90% of people do flight, we did something which was limiting the experience point. Pay attention, nothing to do with PAX, just experience point, limiting the experience point to a maximum of 390 per flight, which means that if people fly 6 hours, 10 hours, was getting the same things, but they start decreasing and going to zero, and you guys got upset. You got upset because what we did the mistake. We rolled out this thing without sharing the news with you guys beforehand, and this was not intelligent things to do. We rolled out this thing without even explaining the reason why we were doing this thing, and at the end, these things trying to protect the majority of the user was going to punish some people that actually do long flights. People saying, why I get a big airplane? If now it become useless, if I do long flight, I don't collect the quantity of experience point that I deserve. So now, we apologize. So doesn't matter, you can do a long flight and you're gonna always get 1 experience point per minute. And this for everybody. So no Sky Sentinel at the moment, because we want to be sure that it works very well, and probably we're going to discuss with you all how it can be applied. But what we also realized that the Sky Sentinel blocking and stopping the full mission just because somebody doesn't click it one time, it was excessive. So even if it's going to be reintroduced, it's not going to kill the mission. It's gonna just maybe affect a little bit the experience points that you are earning. So we roll back out. You all user like the thing. So you all wanted to have the 1 experience point per minute. It doesn't matter how long the flight is, and that's what we are bringing back. And yet we add something. We add something because we want to give you a bonus to be forgiven, to ask for your understanding, because we are still trying to understand how to make the whole economy balance correctly. We have a lot of rules already made and it's working fine, but we still have to define things mostly when things goes off. So you all, doesn't matter you make a very short flight or you make a very long flight, for the first 3 hours we'll give you a bonus, okay? So the bonus is that for the first 3 hours of flight, you're gonna get 1.2 experience point per minute, okay? So you fly 1 hour, it's not gonna be 60, but it's gonna be 60 plus 0.2 per 60 times, okay? So you will get more experience point for the first 3 hours. After 3 hours, the bonus is over and you go back to 1 experience point per minute. And doesn't matter how long your flight is, and if you put an autopilot at the moment, you still collect 1 experience point per minute. So this supports the user to fly short flights. So if rather than a 9-hour long flight, somebody does a 3-hour flight, is gonna have an advantage because the first 3 hours have the bonus. But if somebody does a 9-hour long flight, he still get his 9 hours of experience point with a bonus in the first 3 hours. You can find in the description of the video a link to the wiki, SimFly wiki, where you get all the explanation about this change that we have made that you're gonna enjoy. And now we continue with something else that is exciting, okay? We extracted this from the AMA section, AMA for Ask Me Anything. What is beautiful is I am Italian, and in Italian AMA means he or she loves. And so reading AMA sounds like there should be a lot of love in the things that people post in the AMA section. Unfortunately, sometimes we find also things that are left with a little bit of hate. I don't know, some haters, some envious people, I don't know, leave some bitter comments there. But we are going to highlight the beautiful one. And in fact, we had a question from Kindra, and we are now in the AMA section now, but we extracted it from the AMA section, and because it's something that is super cool that we are doing, okay? And Kindra, the 13th of January 2025, with 10 votes in his things, he says, airport activation has dramatically enhanced my enjoyment of the SimFly platform. Well, thank you for this nice word, Kindra, first of all. Will it eventually be possible to reward pilots who lands at my airport? Ideally, it would be great if the airport owner could set each airport to award a portion, maybe 40% of the takeoff landing, to the pilot who performed the flight. Thanks for the fantastic work. This platform is really starting to shine. Thank you for the beautiful word. This really reflects the AMA in terms also of love that I can feel in Italian when I enter this section. Kindra, I have to say that your idea is amazing. Your idea is so amazing, my God. We spent a whole few days discussing and thinking about it, and we came to the conclusion that is really cool and outstanding concept that we want to apply. We never thought about it before, and this is why we want to congratulate you for your creativity. And this message goes out to all the other users of SimFly. If you have amazing idea and you share them with us, we take them. You know, like, we really want to reflect the community desire. This is why, you know, as I was saying before, we remove the Sky Sentinel, we try to enter rules, and then sometimes we do those mistakes. But this idea, Kindra, is so amazing that we not only implement it for the airport, but also for the rental aircraft. If you rent an aircraft, all the earning that the aircraft makes, you can choose what percentage to share with the person that rented your aircraft. And this is very cool as well, because the concept is identical, so people can then choose where to go and fly to based on these rules. So I can see what airport I rather fly to, because they give me, they share the income with me, and as well what airplane to rent, because I can see when they share the income with me. So Kindra, amazing. We're gonna always remember your name when there are issue or things, or you know, people enjoying this idea, because we are implementing. As you can see behind me, we already designed the graphic for it, and we are working on the code, because it's something that we want to you know, present as soon as possible to you all. So congratulations again, Kindra, from all the SimFly team for this idea and the feature that you suggest, which we are embracing in full. Kindra, thank you. Thank you. This is the kind of Ask Me Anything's idea we love to read. There's a message for everybody else. Okay. What else? What else? What else is that we've been working, guys. Besides trying to fix our mistakes, we also implemented new things. And we have some imminent releases. One is that now we are soon getting into and we're working toward the new mission, like the rental airplane rental mission. And to do that, we need to enable a few more things. And one of these things is that your license and your aircraft, your airplane, follow you when you fly. So this is something that will be applied to all the other missions, meaning that you have no choice, but when you fly, the airplane is going to be in the airport where it landed. And if you need to do another mission, you need either to take your airplane and fly into the departing airport, or ask somebody to fly it for you, maybe renting it, or you need to, use an internal tool where you use like a small portion of a PAX to move the airplanes somewhere else. Same with the license. Each license represents a pilot. So if a pilot has finished a flight and landed in London, at the point the license is in London. Now, all the missions gonna have this thing, but a restricted flight mission is going to have a special add-on where you can choose if the license and the airplane are going to follow you or not. So let's say your airplane and your license already at the right airport for an event that starts in 5 hours or tomorrow, and you still want to do another flight just to earn some PAX, some experience point, but you don't want to mess up the position of your license and your airplane, you can go in the unrestricted flight, and when you start your mission, you select in the switch do not follow. So your airplane and your license remains where they are and don't follow you in your flight. Obviously, if you want them to follow you, you need to leave also from the location where they are. But this is something we are going to implement. We're gonna give you the full details when this thing is being released, okay? And now that you have reached this point in the video, there is something I want you to do. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends, okay? You can also find us in other social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and also in X, which used to be Twitter. Follow us in all the social media, because doing this we grow the community, and with a stronger community you will be able to enjoy a better SimFly experience. Subscribe to the channel, like the video at least, and share it with your friend, okay? Now, where I was? Oh yes, the full detail will also gonna be put on the wiki page of these things. This is the user interface we are preparing for the airplane rental mission for you to enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
We are also working hard on the user marketplace, and we want to share with you a sneak peek. So it's still far away from being completed, so we just want to show you a little bit how the look is like, okay? So you can see that there are 3 small videos that you can watch. These present how the look and the functions. So you see that you can choose between license, airplanes, and airports that are on sale. And this is like the section. Then let's pretend you go and see one particular asset that is on sale. So those are the one that you are selling. So you can see as a user how many offers you have received, and how the asset is looking like when it's being offered on sale for the others. And you can change how much PAX or US dollars. So you're gonna also choose if you want independently US dollar or PAX, or only US dollars. And you can search for assets that are on sale, so you can put some filters, and you can then see what is available. There are nice UI that are being implemented. Here you can see the airplanes. You can select a favorite and add it to the favorite, so you can select later if you want to purchase it. And then you can see all the details. So consider that this is still a work in progress, so there may be things that change, things that have a different functionality for how they look at the moment. But this is the preview of the user marketplace, and it's something that we are going to roll out soon. Little small thing that is quite interesting. In the map, the first page of SimFly, you will see that there are a lot of airplanes. Now, these airplanes are in a three-dimensional manner. So if you go in the map setting, you set for 3D, and then you can put the map obliqual. As you can see my shoulder, if you have a trackpad that is two large fingers pushing the map, each computer has this method. But you can actually see the altitude of the airplanes in the map. Before they were just splashed on the ground. It was quite sad to see. These are pretty cute. Sometimes I sit there and I watch like for 5 minutes people taking off and flying around and meeting other and then landing somewhere. It's quite beautiful and interesting to see. Nothing special, but is one of the small ways that SimFly become better and better every day. Okay. And now we jump to the Ask Me Anything section. This week only 3 questions here because the one by Kindra, we already presented back in the video. You can go back and go check how cool that question from Kindra was. Now we are gonna read one by Shill. Has been asked January 17, 2025, and again 8 votes. And he says, hundreds of flights later, it's time to come back to subject of a completely unrealistic maintenance timer for planes. It is really hard to believe real life and extreme realism apply only if it is beneficial to SimFly. Landing harsh punishment, but when it comes to plane maintenance after every flight, realism is not important. We were told this would be changed. Is perfect time to get that reality department also. Okay, this is honestly not such a pleasant message to see. We never said specifically that we're gonna change the maintenance time of airplanes actually, but we say that we are adjusting things to make things function for the economy of SimFly. Say you have 4 or 5 airplanes, okay, and you want to rent them out. If somebody lands with an airplane and then their airplane is stuck for maintenance, then you need to rent yours. If they can use their airplane in 2 hours, then probably they're not gonna rent your airplane. So those things are set in place to make the dynamic of all the ecosystem of SimFly work. If we remove these things, then we vanify the whole effort that there is in creating a sustainable ecosystem for SimFly. What means this? It means that if it is so easy to collect PAX token, experience point, get to the high level of whatever you have in just 2-3 months of playing the game, then it's finished. If we wanted just to chase money, obviously we will do this. We let everybody get involved, spend money, collect, and then nothing is worth anything. And when nothing is worth anything, this really sounds like a scam. And that's exactly what we don't want. We want people to actually work for the PAX token and the experience point that they earn so that they have a value. Because if it doesn't require any effort to collect them, then now if you don't look about PAX token or experience point, but look about the fact that it's unrealistic that an airplane has to wait so long time when you land before you can use it again. And again, this is done so that you will rent somebody else's airplane in the meanwhile, and people rent your airplane for the same reason. The method to cut off this waiting time is to upgrade the level of the airplane. Higher you go with the airplane, shorter the waiting time are. And this is made in such a way that people grow. People take time to build up. They have something that is worth more because at this point is gonna wait less between a flight and another, and then they go up of a level until they have very little wait. And this makes an asset very valuable. So valuable that if you sell it in the user marketplace, is actually worth way more than a new asset, because a new asset is starting at level 1 where the wait is long. So if I am a user that is joining SimFly, has some money to spend, loves SimFly, and I don't want to wait a long time, I go in the user marketplace, which is gonna be launched soon, and what I do, I'm going to buy somebody airplane that is already a level 6, a level 7, which means that when it lands, it's gonna wait very short time. And this is one, but there is going to come out, I cannot say anything now, another way to have an easier life in SimFly, okay? It's gonna be announced one of the next weeks. But believe me, that what we're doing, Shield, is exclusively to make sure that who has spent some money to get a set in SimFly has this asset protected. Because if we don't do those things, then the value of the asset goes to 0, the value of PAX goes to 0, and SimFly doesn't make any more sense. I understand it can be frustrating. I understand that you say, why I need to wait so long? Be there, because we are at day 0 with SimFly. As soon as a rental airplane comes out, this is gonna make sense completely, because you're not stuck only with your own airplane. Even now you can use SimFly airplanes, but you will be able to earn by going and renting and using an airplane of a user that is sharing a lot of the income of the airplane. So it's gonna be good as well while your airplane waiting. At the same time, as soon as your airplane has the experience points that are enough to go up one grade, the wait to use the airplane again is gonna be shorter. This is why this whole thing is nice and is cool, and also require an investment in time that is long. Is actually, we want to people enjoying what they always do anyway, which is, you know, in the weekend make a beautiful flight with their own airplane, with their own simulator, go with friends around. So, you know, people do this thing anyway. And while they do this thing anyway, on top of it, they have all this amazing economy that SimFly is offering. But it doesn't have to become the end of it, you know. Still enjoy your flights, and you have the extra things that come with SimFly. And for those that are invested in SimFly properly, we want to guarantee that their investment is protected properly. I hope, Shil, this answers your question, and we move to the next question. Question number 2. This question has been asked by Starvan, the 15th of January 2025, and he has 7 votes. Starvan says, greetings. When buying an aircraft, I analyze the passenger and cargo capacity, range, fuel, etc. I would like to know if the passenger and the cargo data will influence the final profit of the aircraft in the future. For example, I want to buy a Category 4 aircraft, B350 or SF50, but although they have the same price, there are important differences in this data. How do I know if in the future one will be more profitable than the other, or if this data will have no influence? Starvan, at the moment we only look at the category, so once an airplane is of a category, the rules apply to the whole category, doesn't matter which is the model of the airplane. Yet, in the future, we can create missions that actually consider these things. I'm not talking in the name of SimFly, but just a brainstorming. For example, based on the cargo and the passenger, you need to choose the quantity of fuel to enter, so to optimize the flight, blah 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 blah. I don't know. At the moment, nothing of this is even on paper, so at the moment there is no difference. But in the future, when we go to refine and create a new kind of missions, maybe there is a mission that keep those data in consideration. consider that none of the two airplanes gonna be more advantageous in absolute. Maybe one is more advantageous in one kind of a mission and the other is more advantageous in the other kind of mission. So it's no way to predict today which is the best of the two airplanes to buy, because it depends on the mission that we're gonna go to design in the future. So yeah, at the moment, choose the one that you like the most and then cross your fingers. Or to say, eventually in the longer term, both airplanes are gonna have the right mission that favor their characteristics the most. So eventually either choice are going to be satisfied with one particular mission that require those particular data. As of today, they are exactly the same, so no worries. I hope this answered your question, Starven. And question number 3. Question number 3 has been asked by MedicMan695, the 15th of January 2025, and he has 6 votes. He asks, "Hey there, I know you guys are looking at bringing Sky Sentinel back, and while I understand the reasoning for that, I would suggest making it an optional thing and then adding a bonus for those that want to use it and get, for example, boost on the experience point and PAX. That way, these people that have the time and availability to stay in the cockpit for long flight, I guess, can go on longer flights, can be rewarded, and those that do not can still go on long flights and still get their experience point and PAX. It's something you guys are tossing around. Well, as you may have heard in the beginning of this video, and people that arrive here just for the answer to this question, I suggest them to watch the whole video. That's something that possibly we are going to understand is a very delicate things, because as we touch those things, we get always when people see changes are unhappy, so we get tons of complaints. We want to make sure that Sky Sentinel works perfectly, it doesn't miss a bit, because if it misses a bit then it creates more trouble. But for sure, as I said before, if ever the Sky Sentinel comes back with the function of checking if somebody is actually flying in the airplane, we'll never anymore have such a harsh consequences as canceling the mission, but it will be probably affecting just the range of time around the single time that the user missed something. We are discussing and thinking and doing practical tests because we want to make sure that if we bring back the Sky Sentinel has to work for people with virtual reality, without virtual reality, doesn't mix a bit. There is a good way to log all the requests that have been sent, so people can now falsely claim that they pressed the answer but it didn't work. We want to make sure that everything works well and properly, and then we're gonna discuss with the community the best way to guarantee that people in a long flight that are sitting in the cockpit get their bonuses, and people that don't still go as things are set up now. I hope this answered your question, Medic Man, and with this we close. So thank you for watching the video until now. Okay, today has been a very long video. There have been a lot of emotion going in and out, so thank you for coming in the roller coaster with me. And as I always say, subscribe to our social media, okay? Not only YouTube, which I want to see 1,000 real users. If you have friends that are simmers, invite them over in SimFly, and share the news about SimFly in your social media and tag us, because it is fantastic to see that people make a small YouTube video showing off SimFly and tag us, or in other social media talk about SimFly. And what is the most important is that with SimFly you take off and get more.